Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here, and we're back. We're doing our first Theros Beyond Death. We're doing a sealed event. The drafts aren't up yet on Arena, so let's hop right in. Yes, I will purchase this item. Alright, let's open our packs. See the cool animation. So we got Atris, Oracle of Half-Truths. Blue-black, it's got Menace, it's a 3/2, it's an advisor. When it enters, opponent looks at the top 3 cards of your library, separates them in a face-down pile, put one pile in your hand, the other into your graveyard. Face-down and a face-up pile, and you get to choose which one. So that's kind of cool, actually. Oh, whoops. Do I have to reopen that pack now? How does that work? Okay, well, it's the same pack, so I guess that's okay. Oh, they show you all your rares first. Okay, that makes sense. So we got a little bit of fixing here with the temples. And we got the Oracle of Half-Truths, which I like. It's got Menace, so it's evasive, and it gives you some card advantage. Definitely good. Dryad of the Elysian Grove, 3 mana, 2/4. You can play additional lands, and lands you control are every basic land type. That's actually really good, too. Good fixing. And then we have Galia of the Endless Dance, 2 mana, 2/2 haste, and it boosts satyrs and gives them haste. And when you attack with 3 or more creatures, you can discard a card at random, but draw 2. So some card advantage. Then Treacherous Blessing. So 3 mana, enchantment. It enters, you draw 3. Whenever you cast a spell, you lose a life. And when it becomes the target of a spell or ability, you sacrifice it. Okay. Also not bad. Obviously, 3 mana, draw 3 is very good. Casting a spell, losing a life is a big deal, but if you have some way to cleverly get rid of it, could be very good. So, alright, there's our rares. And on to the rest here. So we'll make these a little bit bigger and we'll look through them. Just to give you a little update on me, I'm entering my 3rd semester of nursing school of a 2-year program. So unfortunately, I will not be posting a lot of content over the next few months here. Again, thanks so much for everybody who's been patient with me over the last few months while I go through school. It's a difficult process, so I just can't record too many videos, unfortunately. It just eats up too much of my time, and I've only been to orientation so far, but this is going to be this looks like a very overwhelming semester. So it's going to be very, very busy. Thanks so much to Jamie Rigotti for supplying content to SeemsGoodMagic while I'm gone. I urge you to support her Twitch channel, and that's twitch.tv/Jamie Topples. You can also find that in the description of any of her videos on my channel. Okay, let's go through the colors now. So we have Alseid of Life's Bounty, 1 mana, 1/1. It's got lifelink. You can sack it and turn a creature enchantment. Oh, you can give protection from color. I definitely think that's a good card. Very, very good card. Can save you. It can get you past enemy defenses. It can protect from removal. Very, very good. Can, make trades difficult for your opponent to figure out. And it's an enchantment creature. So, all right, I like it. Karametra's Blessing. Target creature gets +2/+2. If it's enchanted or enchantment creature, it also gains hexproof and indestructible. That also seems very good. Good trick. We've got Sentinel's Eyes, 1 mana. It's an enchantment. Gives creature +1/+1 in vigilance. And then Escape, which is a new mechanic. So you can cast it from your graveyard for its escape cost. In this case, it's 1 mana and exile 2 other cards from your graveyard. Okay. Playable. Not super exciting. Flicker of Fate. 2 mana, exile a creature enchantment, then return to the battlefield under its owner's control. So you can play this on your opponent's creatures too, which is nice, so you can kill tokens or flicker enchantments in a pinch. I don't know. I guess you could cast this on that rare enchantment that we have to sacrifice it, but I think this has definitely got some, obviously good with enter the battlefield effects. Hero of the Pride, 2 mana, 2/2. Whenever you cast a spell that targets it, creatures you control get +1/+0. That's a strong common, actually. I like that a lot. That seems like a very good common. Revoke Existence, more of a sideboard card, I suspect. Although that's not true. In this format, it's going to see a lot of enchantments. So I imagine Revoke Existence is actually very main deckable in a format that's got a lot of enchantment creatures and stuff like that. Transcendent Envoy, 2 mana, 1/2 flyer, and it makes your aura spells cost 1 less. I like that. Dreadful Apathy. Enchant creature can attack or block, and then you can exile the creature. Definitely a good card. Sunmane Pegasus, 4 mana, 2/3, and you can give it Vigilance and Lifelink for 2 mana. I think this is a great card. I mean, it's a little pricey, but it's got evasion, and Vigilance and Lifelink is definitely a good combination. That's a good common as well. Captivating Unicorn, 5 mana, 4/4. It's got the constellation, so whenever an enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, so constellation's an ability word, tap target creature and opponent controls. Yeah, I like that. Certainly playable. Reverent Hoplite, 5 mana, 1/2, but when it enters the battlefield, create a number of 1/1 white human soldiers equal to your devotion to white. So, yeah, if you've got pretty good devotion going, which we do not in white, this would be a good card. So for us, I'm not super impressed with it. Seems like it's just a little bit overpriced. But the rest of our white, I think the 2 worst cards are probably Sentinel's Eyes and Reverent Hoplite. Everything else seems pretty good to me. Let's go to blue next. Whoops. Chain Memory, 1 mana instant. So -4, -0 to a creature and you scry 2. Cheap cost. It's certainly a playable combat trick. Sage of Mysteries, 1 mana, 0/2. It's got Constellation. So when you play an enchantment, you mill an opponent. I like it. You have some sort of mill strategy. If there's enough cards to support a mill strategy, it's something to consider. Stern Dismissal, 1 mana instant. Bounce a creature and enchantment. Yep, definitely playable. It's Glimpse of Freedom, 2 mana. Uncommon instant. Draw a card, and then it's got Escape. So, I mean, it's free cards in the late game. Not free, but more cards in the late game. That's a pretty big cost to do that, though. Exile 5 other... I mean, you have to have a lot of cards in your graveyard in order to cast it again. So I don't know yet. That seems like it's a little bit challenging of an engine to get going. I mean, you do get to pay 2 and just draw off of it, but I'm not blown away by it. Omen of the Sea, 2 mana, flash enchantment, and when it enters the battlefield, you scry 2 and draw, and then you can sack it to scry 2. So, okay, yeah, it's an enchantment, so it adds to your devotion. It's got flash, and scry 2 draw is certainly good. So, and then additional scry 2. I kind of like that actually. That's not bad. Towering Wave Mystic, 2 mana, 2/1. All right, here's another mill card. We only have 1 of it though, and it has to deal damage. Oh, it's kind of cool. It doesn't have to deal damage to a player. It just has to deal damage, and they mill that many. That's actually kind of a cool card if you can buff it, especially. All right, Illyrios Enraptured, 3 mana, 2/3. It enters tapped. It doesn't untap during your untap step unless, or untap during your untap step if you control a reflection. But when it enters the battlefield, you create a reflection. This seems like a really good card. It is a legend, but yeah, you get 2 bodies out of it, and it's efficiently costed on both ends. Highly playable, looks very good. Deny the Divine, so counter a creature enchantment. If that spell is countered this way, exile it instead of putting it in its owner's graveyard. This actually seems like an excellent card for Sealed in particular, because Sealed tends to have less... I mean, you can still have aggro decks, but they tend to be a little bit more focused on the mid to late game. Just because that's typically how Sealed is, since you just get a pool to work with. You don't really get to design your deck as well as you can in draft. But exiling also stops escape, so I think Deny the Divine definitely seems like a very good playable card, even as a 2-of, definitely, in Sealed in particular. Elite Instructor, 3 mana, 2/2, but when it enters you get to draw a discard. No problem, definitely playable. Ichthyomorphosis, 3 mana, it's an enchant creature, and yep, blue removal is good, turns into a 0/1 fish creature. Alright, and then you have to remember with base power and toughness, if they have any sort of aura on them or +1/+1 counters, they do still get to be pumped up. Alright, Naiad of Hidden Coves, 3 mana, 2/3. As long as it's not your turn, spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. So if you have a lot of instants, this seems like a great card. And it's a common too. I like it. And then Nyxborn Seaguard, 4 mana, 2/5. So pretty good blocker. It's an enchantment creature. I'm not blown away by our blue, but we'll keep it in mind for now. Alright, in black, Fruit of Tyzeres. 1 black. Target player loses 2, and then you can escape. Probably not a great card in sealed unless you got some sort of hyper aggro deck in your pool. Grim Physician, 1 mana, 1/1. When it dies, target creature an opponent controls gets -1/-1 until end of turn. We've seen this before, and it's definitely a good effect. It's a tough effect to play around in some instances. Maybe worse in sealed, depending on how quick the decks we're playing against are. Okay, Discordant Piper, 2 mana, 2/1, and when it dies, you get a goat creature. Not bad. If there's sacrifice spells with effects, this could be totally useful. Otherwise, it's a piker that gives you an extra blocker body after it dies. Mire's Grasp, certainly good. Removal, it's also an enchantment, so it's a permanent effect. We have 3 of them. Black is already looking much better because of that. Temple Thief, 2 mana, 2/2 human rogue. Can't be blocked by enchanted creatures or enchantment creatures. This seems like a great card too. It's at worst a grizzly bear, at best unblockable grizzly bear. So far, I'm definitely liking our black pool. Scavenging Harpy, 3 mana, 2/1 flyer, and when it enters the battlefield, exile a card from an opponent's graveyard. Definitely good. Gets rid of an escape spell. Soul Reaper of Mogus, 3 mana, 2/3, and then 3 mana, sack a creature, draw a card. I like this effect. It's a good way to, if you have excess mana and you have creatures that aren't doing anything, like this in particular works really well with the Piper. You get 2 sack effects to draw some more cards. This would definitely make the deck. It's also an enchantment, and good protection against removal too. In response to your removal spell, I'll just sack my creature and draw. And then we saw the Treacherous Blessing, which we could probably play. Is there a way that I can get rid of it? I'd probably want to get rid of it in order to play it. I don't have to, but might be a good idea. Otherwise, casting spell and losing life could add up to be too much. Underworld Charger, 3 mana, 3/3, but it can't block, but you can also escape it. And when you do escape it, it gets bigger. I like this card. Even if you're not aggro, 3 mana, 3/3 in black, at common in particular, is very unheard of. And additional ability on top of that. In fact, this card kind of surprises me. It just seems very powerful for a common. I mean, granted, it can't block, but there's a lot going with this card. A lot of perks. Efficiency, escape, and it gets bigger. I like it. Aspect of Lamprey, 4 mana. Aura. Enters battlefield, target opponent discards 2, and it gives lifelink. Not bad. Once again, this is another card that I think is good for sealed. If your opponent's playing more high-end cards, making them discard 2 is pretty good. Obviously, just giving lifelink is not a huge benefit, but this is probably a pretty playable card. Nyxborn Marauder, 4 mana, 4/3. Definitely playable. It's also an enchantment, so good for Constellation. Final Death, exile target creature. We have 2 of these. We're 100% going to be playing black. I haven't even looked at the rest of our colors yet, but there's just no way that we can't with the removal suite that I've already looked at. Just very, very good. And then Enemy of Enlightenment, 6 mana. Wow. 6 mana, 5/5 Flying Demon, but it gets -1/-1 for each card in your opponent's hand. At the beginning of your upkeep, each player discards a card. I still think we can very easily play this card. It seems really good to me. Alright, so Blackpool so far is looking the best of the 3 colors we've looked at. We'll go on to red. Escape Velocity, 1 mana aura. You can give the creature +1/+0 in haste, and it's got escape. Okay, not exciting. Satyr's Cunning. It's a 1 mana sorcery, but it makes a satyr that can't block. But you can escape it. I'm not particularly excited by that card either. I mean, escape is cool because it's additional spells, kind of for free in parentheses in that it doesn't take any cards from your hand, but this effect is so minor that I'm not very impressed. I mean, a 1-mana 1/1 that can't, or a 1/1 that can't block is really just not that good. Incendiary Oracle, alright, 2-mana 2/2. It's got fire breathing, and if a creature dealt damage by it would die, exile instead. This is a good card. Kind of overpriced fire breathing, but exile is obviously good in a set with escape. Oread of Mountain's Blaze, 2-mana 1/3, and it's got the rummage effect, so discard a card, draw a card for 3. I like this a lot. This is one of those cards that mid to late game can really help you cycle for cards that you need. Thrill of Possibility, we've seen this already as a reprint. 2-mana instant, and you have to discard a card, but you get to draw 2. Definitely playable. Helps mitigate some flood or mana screw. Annex, Hardened in the Forge, 3-mana 0/3. Its power is equal to your devotion to red, and when it or another non-token creature you control dies, you get a 1/1 satyr that can't block. And if the creature had power 4, you get 2 of those instead. This I actually do like quite a bit. Just based on, well, at worst, it's a 2/3 for 3, so it's already good. Gets better from there. I have a great feeling about this card. This is a great card. I can tell already. 3-mana 2/3 that spits out more bodies when it or other creatures dies. Definitely good. Alright, Final Flare. Instant. As an additional cost, you have to sack your creature enchantment. So here's a card that's going to pair really well with our Treacherous Blessing. And it deals 5 damage to a creature, so good removal. Arena Trickster, 4-mana 3/3. Whenever you cast your first spell during each opponent's turn, you put a counter on it. So obviously good with instants. Definitely playable. Okay, red looks okay. We don't have a ton of it. Let's look at green. Chainweb Arachneer, 1-mana 1/2 reach. When it enters, it deals damage equal to its power to target creature with flying and opponent controls, then you can escape it, and it escapes as a 4/5. I like it. That's a cool card. Especially for 1 mana on the front end. I like it. And it doesn't fight either, it just deals damage. Cool card. Mystic Repeal, 1-mana instant, put target enchantment on the bottom of its owner's library. That's a very interesting, I mean, it makes sense that it's in green, but in this format, I can see this being some pretty solid green removal. I like it. Definitely main deckable. Plummet, more of a sideboard card, but a useful sideboard card. 3 of them is definitely excessive. Let's look at the Grove Dancer here. So, whoops, I don't want to craft that. Nope. Whenever a land card is put into your graveyard from anywhere, you gain a life, and you can put the top card of your library into your graveyard. Okay, not bad. Way to gain life in a pinch. It's also an enchantment, and it can feed your graveyard with escape spells, so cool. Dryad of the Elysian Grove, we saw this already. You get to play additional lands, and lands you control are every basic land type, so 3-mana 2/4 enchantment creature on top of that. I like it. Hyrax Tower Scout, 3-mana 3/3. When it enters, you untap a creature. Yeah. Very efficient. Very good. Nyx Herald, 3-mana 2/3. At the beginning of combat on your turn, target enchanted creature or enchantment creature you control gets buffed and gains trample. So at worst, this is a 3-mana 3/4 trample on your turn during combat. I like it. That's really good too. And we have a couple of them. Relentless Pursuit, 3-mana. Sorcery, reveal the top 4 cards of your library. You may put a creature card and or a land card from among them into your hand, so some pretty decent card advantage at a fairly reasonable cost for green. So yeah, I would definitely say this is a playable card. I like it. Inspire Awe, 4-mana instant, prevent all combat damage that would be dealt this turn except combat damage that would be dealt by enchanted creatures and enchantment creatures. Okay, bit of a build around fog effect. It also has Scry 2. I don't think, well, if I had enough enchantments and enchantment creatures, I could see myself possibly playing it. Renata, Call to the Hunt, 4 mana 0/3. Power is equal to your devotion to green, so it's a 4 mana 2/3 at worst. And then each other creature you control enters the battlefield with an additional. Wow, that's a great card. Buffing all your future creatures. And then we have Nylea's Forerunner, 5 mana 5/3 trample, and it gives your other creatures trample. It's definitely playable. Okay. Now we have Devourer of Memory. So 2 mana 2/1. Whenever one or more cards are put into your graveyard from your library, it gets +1/+1 until end of turn. It can't be blocked. And then you can put the top card of your library into your graveyard. That's a sweet card. Wow. So basically 3 mana, and it becomes a 3/2. It says whenever one or more cards are put into your graveyard from your library. So, wow. So you can actually use it more than once. You can use that effect more than once per turn if I'm reading it right. Because it's not saying whenever one or more cards are put into your graveyard from your library this turn. It says whenever one or more cards are put into your graveyard from your library. So you can just keep pumping it. That seems like a really strong card. So we already saw Atris. Definitely good. I would play it. So far, blue-black is looking good, although green, we've got some goodies in green that I'm liking quite a bit. Yeah. The Temple, if I want to splash for like a Final Flare or something like that. We've got Golly of the Endless Dance, which we saw already. We don't quite have enough satyrs to make this worth our time, I don't think, but whenever you attack with 3 or more creatures, you can draw 2, or discard to draw 2. I do like that effect. Temple of Plenty, if I wanted to play green, I think if you play either one of the colors on a temple, it's worth playing in my mind. Unknown Shores for some more fixing. We have 3 of them. Bronze Sword, kind of an underwhelming equipment, but playable. Soul Guide Lantern, 1 mana, enters the battlefield, exile target card from a graveyard, and then tap. Exile each opponent's graveyard, so more of a graveyard hate card, which we probably don't need. Maybe a sideboard card against an escape deck or something, and then you can sack to draw a card, so okay. And then finally we have Mirror Shield, just equipment. It buffs toughness, and it gives hexproof, and whenever a creature with Death Touch blocks or becomes blocked by this creature, destroy that creature. So it's a way to get by Death Touch. It's pretty oddly specific. And then Thaumaturge's Familiar, 3 mana 1/3 flyer, and you get to scry 1 when it enters. Okay, well, let's put in our for sure cards we want. We can cut the lands for now while we figure this deck out. So we obviously want the final deck. So we've got great removal suite already. Other playable cards in black. I like the Charger. I can consider the Blessing. Definitely want the Soul Reaper. We're not going to do the Fruit. The Physician I'm willing to consider. Definitely the Piper, I think. I like the Thief, the Harpy. I think I do want the Aspect, the Marauder, and the Enemy. So basically, all of our black spells except the Fruit seem good to me. So we already almost have a deck ready here already, which is impressive. If I did blue, I would want a Rare and the Devourer. And then I want the counter spells. So then we only need like 4 more cards. I want the Illyrios Enraptured. Do we have a lot of instants? I don't think that we do. I mean, we can check. We have, or do they not let you? Oh, instants. We only have 4, so not insane, but it's a 3 mana 2/3 enchantment creature. We don't have much Constellation. We have some mill Constellation, but I'm not really looking to mill with this deck, I don't think. The Instructor's playable. Yeah, I guess I'm not. Oh, the Stern Dismissal, the Chained Memory. So I guess I do have a playable blue-black deck right here, which I'm not blown away by, but it seems fine to me. Why don't we take a look at our... I'm going to take a look at our black-green because I kind of like the green beats that we've got. Like, we can do the Dryad to help our fixing. We might just be able to splash for our blue-black, our multicolor cards. I kind of like the Grove Dancer, too. I definitely like Renata. The Forerunner seems good. I can play these two dudes. Maybe I don't play the Devourer if I'm just splashing, although I still kind of like it. Because you can even use the Grove Dancer synergy. It's kind of cool. Could do the Arachner. It might be a better sideboard card, although it escapes, like I said, as a 4/5, which is pretty good. Mystic Repeal, definitely playable. Accidentally, we have two of them. Is one like foil or something? That's weird. We're probably not going to do the Inspire Awe, although we do have a decent amount of enchantment creatures. Relentless Pursuit is some decent card draw. Probably don't have space for it. I want the Nyx Heralds. Honestly, I think our green looks better than our blue. So I can probably get rid of the card advantage spell. Did I already take it out? Yeah, the Relentless Pursuit. I guess we don't need it. I would have to make 3 cuts. Maybe we don't splash for Devourer. I'm still okay splashing for Atris, but maybe we don't need to. Maybe we don't need to splash for anything. We just cut the multicolor. There's just no reason to. We have a solid looking green-black deck here. Because we've got decent top end too. These are good. Beaters. Yeah. Renata is going to be cool. These are good. So the Treacherous Blessing, do we even have a means to get rid of it? I don't think that we do. We can Mystic Repeal it. We can do we need the Dryad? I mean, it still fixes and we can play additional lands. We play it. And it's an enchantment creature. I don't have any other means to get rid of it. So I think we're not going to do the Treacherous Blessing. I do like 3 mana, draw 3. I think that's really good. But I kind of like this. This looks good to me. Good rock value. We're still going to play the Temple. We're going to play both of them just as an extra scry effect. And other than that, I think we look okay. All right. Well, we finally got the deck narrowed down. Let's take a look at our colors so we can figure out. All right, so we're more black than green. So if we go lands, we can probably go. We have space for 15, so we'll do 8 and 7. And call it a deck. Yeah, kind of a cool looking deck. I think we can do some cool things with this. So wish we had a little bit more evasion. We basically have the Demon and the Harpy, and that's it. But we do have we have good removal. I guess this has some evasion capabilities. We've got good removal. Got good, kind of efficient beaters. Yeah, I like it. We're going to run it like this. We'll see you round 1. All right. We're here in round 1. Let's see what we can do. We'll keep it. Got some good removal. And a beater. And we can even replay our beater with our removal once we use it. Pious Wayfarer. I don't mind killing that. Basically could hit us for 2 every time they play an enchantment. Plus we have plenty of removal, so seems okay to me. Get our 3-mana 3/3 down. Very efficient. Alright. Oh, I can repeal that. That's actually really cool. We will, I think, so I can beat in. So we'll play the Temple, see what's on top. I think we can ditch the land even though it lets us play the Final Death. We can Mystic repeal the thing. We can play a Grim Position. And we can beat in for 3. Let's see. It is an enchantment, loses all other card types. Interesting. Okay, so we have Final Death mana now. And this can take care of gods too, which is kind of cool. Alright, Marauder is a good draw. Alright, they get to counter. Okay, whenever you cast a spell that targets Hero of the Winds, buffs creatures. It's pretty good. I don't know if I want to Final Death that though. I think we need to save this for a more imminent threat, so for now I'm just gonna pass. Alright. Alright, we're back, so we're gonna pass. And they don't attack, so we'll untap. We're going to play the Discordant Piper. And pass. It's good card advantage for him there. Well, they had to discard 2, so I guess that's nice. Alright, I guess we'll use the Myers Grasp here so we can start beating in. I should have played the extra land just in case. Yeah, well, I wasn't going to cast Final Death on these, so I guess that's okay. Alright, well, we get to finish off the Hero of the Wind, so not the end of the world. Equal to devotion to white. Whenever another creature you control enters the battlefield or dies, you gain a life. I don't want to use a Final Death on that. Alright. Got a big dude. Okay. For each spell and ability your opponents control, counter it unless controller pays 4. Huh. It's interesting. Gains flying, okay. So I might need to kill the Wave Rider. Okay. All right. I can search for an aura card, reveal it, and put it in your hand. That's a great 3-drop common. Wow. Super strong. All right. Take some damage. Do I want to just use the Grasp on Daxos now? I kind of have to, I feel like. It's just dealing too much damage at the moment. Okay, we'll go land go. All right, we'll go land, Grove Dancer, and pass. Guess we'll use it. Use it. Block like that. Forerunner, but doesn't stop it, so we'll just cast it to get some daily stuff, and then we'll concede. We'll see you for the next one. All right, game 2, no black mana, but I think we can keep this. Yeah, we're on the draw. I think this is okay. We can temple, and if it's a non-land, get rid of it. I kind of want the black land more, so I think we're gonna, well, yeah, I think we want the black land more. Because currently we can at least play the Nyx Herald with this, so seems okay to me. Alright, play the land and say go. And what they get in there? Oh, that's cool. We'll do the Nyx Herald because it can block these. And it gains first strike, huh? It's a pretty incredible card. Really, really, really strong. So is this a 2/3? Yeah. So I guess we can play the pipe. Well, let me think about this. I don't want to trade Renata for a Piper. Basically, I want to trade the Piper for the Piper. So I think we're just gonna not make the best use of mana here, but just play a Discordant Piper. This way, if they have removal, we still get an 0-1 goat, so that's fine. Prevent some damage. So the charger can't block. If I were to trade any of these cards for a Piper, it'd probably be the Nyx Herald, I think. Alright, I guess we'll do... let's see, I've got 6 mana, so best use of mana, maybe the Forerunner to trade with the Piper, because I've got another one in just in case. I guess we'll go... Well, they can escape with that though, right? So might make more sense to do this. Or do we die anyway? Yeah, I guess we just die. Alright. We'll see you for game 3. Alright. Yeah, we can keep this. So we'll go Temple. And yeah, we can keep that on top. I guess we play the Dryad first, probably. Yeah, I really like this card a lot. Incredibly strong common in this format. Incredibly strong common. Wow. Alright, so which card do we want them to play that on? I guess... I don't know if it matters. Maybe the Herald, because it's going to force them to exile it so we don't get the effect. I guess we have Myers Grasp to take care of that, so we'll take it. We can kill both of their guys, I suppose. Alright, we can final death that. See if they want to trade. If not, I'm just going to final death it on their turn, I think. Alright, I guess I have to play around the Flicker of Fate. Okay, we'll get in with the Nyx Herald again. We can play Renata. Alright, I guess I have to reconnect again. Okay, they want me to choose blockers. I think I'm gonna take it. If I get a mana, I can play some buffed guys, so I kind of like that more. Maybe not. Alright, well, we still can play 2 guys. Alright. Well, I guess I'd rather lose like a probably like a Dryad here. We'll play our own Forerunner. Well, if I double block, they kill the Nyx Herald. And then I can't buff my guys anymore. So maybe it does make more sense to just take it. Problem is then they can kill us next turn because they can escape the Mogus' favor on their Chimera. I think we do have to double block here. That's actually interesting they killed that one. Okay. So I guess that we just pass. I guess my guys did have trample. Does that make a difference? I'm not sure if it does. Oh, that's cool. No choice but to block here. And they're going to be able to buff their Courser. But yeah, I could play extra lands off Dryad. I wonder if that ever came up. I mean, it doesn't really come up that much in Limited, I don't think. Oh, I can get rid of this Mogus's Favor. I'm pretty lucky I can do that. Yeah. And it's a 4/4. You can tap a creature when you play an enchantment. It's pretty good. So do I assume their last card is an enchantment? I don't think I can. So we probably just... Well, I might have to double block the unicorn though. Yeah, alright. Unfortunately, 3/3 doesn't pair too well against my opponent's board. And what's this do again? Wow, card's super strong. What a super strong card. You get a 2/3 body, you mill, and then any permanent card from your graveyard to your hand. It's really good, particularly good for Limited. So we lose our blocker, and then they can just tap our other dude. All right, there you go. Well, 0-3, pretty bad loss. Jeez, do we even get? I don't think I've ever done that bad in a draft before. Let's see what we get. Do we get anything for just straight loss? Nothing. Let's find out. Claim prize. Yeah, I guess I do get something. You're the biggest loser in the world. Here's 3 packs because we feel bad for you. Sounds good. Let's open some packs here. So we got, I don't know what first means. It's my first one? Oh, that's cool. That's like a new thing. Alright. Alright, rare wild's good. And Arcana Sun's Grace. Alright. Thanks so much for tuning in, folks. Hope you enjoyed it. Tune in to Jamie's drafts that she'll be doing on the channel. Maybe she'll do a sealed too. I'm not sure yet. I'll see you in a few months. I think that'll probably be the next time that I end up posting a video. So thanks so much for all your continued support. I really appreciate it. We'll see you soon.